The enemy wants you to feel isolated. We will show him you are not. The enemy wants you to feel helpless. We will show him you are anything but. At the right time. All warfare is based in deception. So this week we are launching our first Women's Self-Defense Wednesdays for a couple of reasons, and I have been working on this for quite some time. Women's self-defense is my most passionate subject because I am a girl dad, and I wanted this to be done in a very specific way for my family. I'm doing this way because I know I'm not always going to be around. My daughters aren't always going to remember everything that I ever taught, and amongst the 300 or 400 some videos I have up now in some type of martial arts or self-defense capacity, there are thousands that I have made that I've never uploaded. And it is with that, I myself don't even have access to all of those from different devices and different clouds that I don't even use anymore. It is with this in mind that I am going to put it out on the internet in hopes that it is indeed out there forever and that it may benefit you as well, for all women and all girls. But I dedicate and wrote this protocol for my daughters. This protocol I have written and dubbed the Predator's Behavioral Psychology Compendium. It is an ongoing study of the enemy, of what the enemy does, their behaviors, their mannerisms, and ways that we can use these things to our advantage and against them. When I started doing this, I knew I wanted this to be done different. There is a lot of excellent women's self-defense courses out there and a lot of excellent martial arts and boxing instructors that can give you so many different things in the physical realm of fighting. But just as Edmund K. Parker wrote, I wanted this to be both the warrior and the scholar. So we will be doing this as an ongoing study to be able to not just educate, but to be able to harness and use this for our own tactical scenario training. I want to be clear with this, and when I say tactical, this isn't police tactics, this isn't military tactics. Like, they have specific jobs to do. Our job is different. Our job is to solely survive. It is with this in mind that I wrote the Predator's Behavioral Psychology Compendium, an ongoing analysis of starting with the top 3 types of perpetrators that women experience violence from, their attributes and characteristics, as well as initial actions and things that we can do to be able to make ourselves much, much safer. So we will not be going over the typical leverage-based techniques that a lot of martial arts training is focused around for women's self-defense curriculum. Oftentimes you'll find that I'm looking at the camera and speaking to, well, my daughters. There's a reason for that. So I hope you all have the ability to use it, but it is indeed written and dedicated to them. So for our very first in our ongoing series of Women's Self-Defense Wednesdays, we are going to start with our first scenario. The enemy wants you to feel isolated. They want you to feel alone. They want you to feel helpless, and they want you to feel like there's nothing you can do about it. We're not just going to study these things, but we are going to go through scenarios, starting with this first one. Now, this first one is one scenario of many that we're going to do in which we're going to help you start to have ideas in the ways that you can think. And that is what most of this is about. It is not necessarily about any one of these things needing to be done just like we do in the video. We need you to be able to think a very specific way. Scenario number 1, you're walking alone going somewhere, whether you're 22 going out to experience nightlife, or you're 34 going out to get diapers, 56 going to your favorite coffee shop to meet friends. Wherever you are, whatever age and whatever part of the world, you're alone for a few moments. And we're going to begin there. One of the things that my girls are excellent at, and indeed many women, at trusting their intuition. We need to remember that that is important, and we're going to use it. So for this scenario, your spidey sense starts going off. You think somebody is watching you, perhaps following you, or they already are. And it is with that, very simply, from that moment, as soon as this happens and that spidey sense go off, or you see somebody and he gives you that feeling, we're going to start with our phone. The first tool is to be able to start recording. But I don't want you to just record. No, because if he gets to you or that device, he can delete it. There are other times and scenarios where we will just record. But for this one, we are going to live stream for a couple of reasons. Number one, the live stream, even if he does delete it from your account, from your phone, that company, like Meta, for example, has a copy. So we're going to start live streaming, and this part very particularly is important because this gives me a 360-degree view of my surroundings. I'm going to start live streaming, and now I can see him, and I can see what's over there, and I can see what's over there. And between my peripheral, my 180 here, I now have a 180 behind me. So we start with that. Because he wants you to feel isolated, we are going to use our voice and we're going to be loud. So I'm going to start the live stream and I'm going to vocalize that I'm doing so. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to my live stream. Wow, we have 967 people watching this live stream right now. Hey Brittany, hey Kyle, hey Mark, hey Justin. Thank you so much for coming on my live. He can hear this and see that you are now having eyes on you and on him because they can see him as well. Now it's very likely he's going to act like he's not doing anything and he may even go out of frame. And that's fine because you can still move it. If he starts to go off to your flank or in this direction, you can keep it here and still be recording so that he is indeed in frame. If he walks past you, you have the ability to switch the view on the camera to the forward facing, but we need to remember he could have a friend back there still. So while we may not be recording, we have to keep that in the back of our mind. Remember, one of the best and easiest ways to be able to see behind you is to look down and use your peripheral just as we do when we do our cover outs. I don't want to turn my head all the way. I'm going to drop my chin and look. With that in mind, keep eyes on wherever the threat is and try to keep the recording on the threat too while still using your voice. Being loud so that everybody can hear us, we are going to give our location. This is very important because it can help establish a timeline if anything happens. So as we're walking, anywhere we're going, hey everyone, I'm over here at 127 Marcus Street on the corner of Sunset in Las Vegas, Nevada, just outside of Zig's Coffee across from Dairy Queen. Now you've given an address, you've given cross streets, and you've given physical locations, and there are timestamps here. Just in case there's not, you can include the time and date as well and say something like, hey everybody, just so you know, for today, our Saturday, March 11th, coffee at 2 at Zig's is starting here in 15 minutes. Details help so much. It is in the details that if anything happens, investigators are going to be trying to piece it together. We're going to make it very easy for them to be able to find these things. Now, none of these things are foolproof either. It's not like you can't have a phone die on you or a signal go in and out. It's important to remember that details help, but all of these things are going to add layers of protection. The enemy wants you to feel isolated and helpless, so we are going to vocalize that backup is on the way. Hey, Mark, Kyle, Justin, you guys are on your way right now? Great. How long until you're going to be here in 10 minutes? That's awesome. We'll see you guys here real soon. You can say 5, you can say 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter. The point is, you are vocalizing backup is coming now. People know where you are and they are headed to your location. All warfare being based in deception, you do need to sell this. But even more important than that, you need to be able to look at these things and understand you have to do it for real too. So I'm going to take the screen and I'm going to go to that 3/4 of the way mark so that I still have it enlarged if he's still back there. So I indeed am now actually texting people. I'm at this location, can you come? Text parents, let them know where you are. See if they can come down to your location now. And I know a lot of people might be thinking, well, why not just call 911 if someone's following you? Depending on where you are in the country, and this has really happened, women have called 911 before and told them, I think someone's following me, and dispatchers have told them, what is he doing? If he's not doing anything, we can't send anyone. It does depend on where you are. It also depends on what's going on at that time. If there's not a crime in progress, oftentimes they'll send a unit, but it goes down on a lower level of priority. They have priorities of other things that are happening in their area, which is why we're going to do these things, because we cannot rely on the fact that a cop is just around the corner and can come get to you. Indeed, in some places, they haven't been sent. Now, depending on where you are in the country, sometimes those things have been investigated, but it doesn't really matter after the fact. We have to rely on ourselves. We have to rely on our practices and our habits, and indeed, the study of the enemy, so that we can keep ourselves safe. So, I'm being loud, I'm vocalizing where I am exactly. Locations, addresses, cross streets, in what city, in what town, in what state. I am creating this on the live stream so people can see me, and this is documented in case somebody does get to my phone. I am checking to see how many of those people are on the live, and I'm going to pump those numbers up. I wouldn't say there's 12,000 people on my live stream, but make it kind of big. Tell them there's 840 people on my live right now. Vocalizing, there are people who are coming now. Hey, Justin, Mark, Tim, you guys are on your way. That's great. We'll see you here in just a few minutes. Actually texting them and saying, hey, can you come? Somebody's following. Trying to get those things out there and making sure that we are headed towards safety. Now, you might have this inclination to try to go get into a place where you lose him. This can go wrong if you go to the wrong place, though, and you have to know that. There is safety in numbers, and a lot of criminals do not just blatantly attack people in the open around a lot of witnesses. It doesn't mean that they won't, because that's happened before too, but you have a higher chance of having a problem if you go try to ditch him in this one building and there's a pizza shop up there with 2 guys working in there, no customers, and that man just follows you in. You could try to slip out the back, and now we've got a bigger problem because you're in an alleyway where there's no one, and he could just follow you. So we need to be careful about going into places where you would end up being isolated. Of course, if you can walk into a police station, that will help. And of course, carrying different Mauska tools that can help you, adding in layers of protection. The things you have on you that you carry with you every day. Especially when it comes to women's self-defense, there's the obvious ones, and they make very special tools that, while you think would be too big, would fit your hand perfectly, while you think would be too powerful and have a lot of recoil, actually don't. You just need to test these things for yourself to see what works. In this series, we're going to be reviewing and going over some of these tools. And no, it's not tools that I'm trying to sell you on my website. Well, that would be kind of cool. It's not my point in doing this. I don't have any links to these things. I just want you to have the education and know that they exist and you can get them. And you can get them cheap. Things like handcuff keys that have the double lock, unlock feature, and a clip that can literally clip to your shirt, that can literally go onto your keys, that are very easy to conceal and you could access to. For example, this could go in my back pocket right there and just be hooked into that. So that way, if my hands were behind my back, I could come to this point and get it out like this. Similarly to the handcuff key, if my hands were to be bound with rope or tie wrapped, and I carry things like this, while its paracord, the inside of this, just clicks off and indeed opens up to a little blade. They're not expensive and they could help save you. Your hands right there, tied together, unclicking and accessing an immediate knife to be able to cut through. There are several of these types of tools, and in our other scenarios we're going to go through those types of tools as well that can aid you in this. All of these things are to add layers of protection and get you thinking about this and safety and tactics in a particular manner. Whether or not you use any one of these things or all of them, it's about getting you thinking in this way. And I will put up and post the graphic for the Predator's Behavioral Psychology Compendium and our breakdown in consistent study every Wednesday for Women's Self-Defense Wednesday, and things that you can do to be able to learn about these things and use these things to your advantage. I sincerely hope that these things will help you. To my girls, I love you very much. I hope you stay safe, even long after I'm gone. And to everyone else, I'm Instructor Thompson. I hope you join us again for our next Women's Self-Defense Wednesday.